Hi everyone, I'm Brianna and welcome to our sports webinar where we will be chatting about live video in sports and innovation. Thanks so much for sticking by us and tuning in. We're sorry that we are a little bit later than expected, but we have an amazing webinar planned for you and we thank you so much for tuning in. We will be hearing from the amazing Farron Benjamin, our head of sports partnership. She's tuning in from Los Angeles. Hi Farron.
Hi.
She's such a thought leader in this space, starting her own career in sports at USC, and then going over to Twitter Sports, and now leading the way here at Tagboard in sports in this market. We also have Daniel producing behind the scenes.
Tuning in. We're so excited and thank you so much for tuning in. You can participate in this conversation by utilizing hashtag #TagboardWebinar. We would love to see what you're saying, your questions, your thoughts, even what you're doing in this space. We'll be following along on this conversation right below, and even bringing some of those social comments into this live stream. We have such an amazing webinar planned for you today. We will be hearing from Doug from the New Orleans Saints and Pelicans.
We will also be hearing from Chris and Jason from PGA Tour, and we have a special guest from Snapchat, Ty. We're so excited to have you here. Farron, let's go ahead and get started. Take it away.
Awesome. Thanks, Brianna. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. Really excited to kick off this webinar where we are bringing thought leaders together, just like yourselves, for you guys to learn and bring back new and exciting ideas back to your teams, leagues, and friends. First up, we have Doug, who is the Executive Director of Digital Media for the New Orleans Saints and Pelicans. Hi, Doug.
Hey, Farron. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you today?
I'm great. Happy to be a part of your show.
Thank you so much. You've been one of our longest-standing partners and clients. You're always willing to push and innovate through the NFL and NBA with both teams, always willing to try new ideas, whether it's bringing Snapchat to displays, hosting post-game live shows. You're always willing to say yes to any crazy idea that we throw your way. So I'm very excited to have you here today to share all the unique things you're doing in both spaces, NFL and NBA. So let's get started. What are some of the new trends that you are seeing in both the NFL and the NBA with live video streaming?
Yeah, there's just been a big migration over to Facebook Live. You know, the audience size that Facebook can deliver is really unmatched, and both leagues are moving aggressively over toward it. The NBA much more aggressively than the NFL, but the NFL loosened the strings a little bit last year, the rules, and we'll find out here in a couple of months what our policies are going to be for 2017. But I think everybody likes the reach and the scale of Facebook Live.
Let's hope the owners and the meetings that you guys have next week, you guys can come up with some very unique things.
Yeah.
How do you see aspects such as Snapchat and spectacles adding to your in-stadium content during games?
Well, what I like about Snapchat, we have displayed on both of our video boards for the Saints and the Pelicans games. This gives the fans, the regular fans who might not be on Snapchat, a chance to see kind of behind the scenes content that they wouldn't be privy to otherwise. And the first month that we had it going, since you guys set it up for us, on the Pelican side, we doubled our Snapchat followers from 10,000 to 20,000. And I attribute that all to the video board presence, because we really didn't do any other extra promotion about it.
I love it. How I know that you guys are getting spectacles to your big players and going behind the scenes. How do you think does that bring your fans as close as you guys want them from a digital standpoint? How do you think things like spectacles are kind of giving your fans an inside look? And what do you think your fans are thinking about these new products that are being released to help stream live video?
Yeah, I mean, if you were a fan, wouldn't you want to be on the court with the other players? Wouldn't you want to see what it's like to dunk the way Anthony Davis can dunk and what he sees when he's up out of the rim, or Buddy Hield shooting a three-pointer before we traded him to the Kings? So I think the spectacles are great. I'm really happy with it. If anything, we need to figure out some new ways to use it and showcase more behind the scenes content to our fans.
I love it. You guys are always kind of working on those ways to bring fans, backstage and behind the scenes, which I think is exactly what fans want. They want to be as close as they can to their biggest stars and heroes, and I think you guys do a phenomenal job of that. Talk to us a little bit, Doug, about what you have done with post-game live shows and, draft coverage, for the upcoming month that you're planning for.
Yeah, so we started our draft shows in 2014 with Tagboard. So this will be our fourth year doing it. We're adding an element to it this year. We're sending a reporter and videographer to Philadelphia for the first round of the draft. So we'll have two broadcasters on our set. We'll have a reporter doing live hits from Philadelphia and providing our fans the first localized interviews with our two first-round draft picks. And then we'll have another camera person wandering either from our media room where Coach Payton and our GM will address the press afterwards to we're having a party downtown. We'll do live hits from there. Throughout it all, we do hashtag Saints Draft underneath, and we bring the fans' comments, thoughts, hopes throughout the night into the program as well. So it's about 16 hours of live video programming over the weekend. So it's a lot. But we're trying to provide that second screen experience and provide fans with nonstop Saints content to supplement what they may be watching on our ESPN or the NFL Network. Last season, we started a 1-hour post-game show. It goes on air about 5 minutes after the end of the game. It's hosted from our studio in New Orleans. And then we have a reporter on site that provides his insights, his analysis into it. Plus live coverage of Sean Payton and Drew Brees' post-game press conferences. We've been happy with it. What we're hoping to do this coming season is possibly adding more fan interaction, either with Tagboard and hashtag comments, or maybe even adding a call-in element to the show.
I love it. All great ideas, Doug, and I'm excited to follow along during draft day with you guys and along with all of our other NFL clients, over here the next month. Last question for you today, Doug. What are some of your favorite social media sports moments over the past NFL and NBA season that either you've done or you've seen other teams do that you're, really kind of trying to dig deeper in, or you just thought it was a overall crazy, unique activation?
It's so hard to pick out one thing or one moment. I think that's the best thing about social media is, just the immediacy after a major event or play. So Sunday after the game winning shot by North Carolina, just being on Twitter and seeing people react to that. The Super Bowl, the Patriots' unbelievable comeback win over the Falcons, just seeing in real time how the world is kind of responding to that unbelievable game. But as far as like an individual team and activation, I think the Chicago Bulls are really doing some amazing stuff on the NBA side. Their Snapchat, where they did almost like I don't know if you describe it as a play or something. It was really well thought out and executed. And then on the NFL side, the Cowboys continue to, I think, lead the pack. Shannon and his team over there really kick butt on a regular basis in the social space. So I'd recommend, I think the Bulls are really, really good on the NBA side, and the Cowboys are excellent on the NFL side. And I like to see everything that they're putting out there on a regular basis.
I love it. I couldn't agree more. I'm very close friends with Shannon, and unfortunately he's traveling right now. I was able to be on this call, but they are doing some really crazy cool things over there at AT&T Stadium. Doug, I just wanted to thank you so much for joining us today. Always a wonderful time chatting with you, and thank you for sharing all your insights. We're looking forward to following along with you over the next month leading up to the NFL draft. And after that, kind of working up towards OTAs and off season and leading up to 2017.
You bet. Anything for my friends at Tagboard.
Thanks, Doug. Brianna, you've worked with Doug in the past prior to me getting to Tagboard on the broadcast side and the live streaming side. Such a great innovator and such great minds and stuff over there in New Orleans.
Yeah, you're totally right, Farron. And thanks again, Doug. It's been an amazing time joining you and joining you on this journey. We love everything that you shared, everything from Facebook Live, from Snapchat, growing your Snapchat followers, Spectacles, what you're doing in that space, your 16 hours of live video coverage around the draft. I mean, gosh, the list goes on. You guys are doing amazing things. I love that you give shout outs to the other teams that are doing great things in this space. It's really amazing to have you on this journey. And we love having all of you as well tuning in. There's lots of you tuning in saying hello. Danny Campbell saying, would you say the draft coverage is similar to what colleges are doing on National Signing Day? What a great question. And I know that's directly going to Doug, so maybe Doug can answer that online. We have Jenny tuning in. Hi, Jenny. And more of our friends. Jillian Marie, thanks so much for tuning in. We're continuing
what
to
you guys are saying. But now let's go ahead and get on to our next interview. Farron, you want to take it away and introduce our next special guest?
Next special guest, Chris and Jason from PGA Tour.
Absolutely. Our next guests are two of the most innovative minds in the golf space, Chris Sinclair and Jason Body. Chris is the senior producer of the PGA Tour. The PGA Tour came to us, and it started off as a conversation simply about how we could bring Tagboard to their headquarter offices. So putting Tagboard and fan content as well as player content in the office televisions and the commissioner's office and whatnot. Since then, they are probably one of the most innovative clients that we work with this season and beyond. They are bringing Tagboard to the golf course. They are bringing it on their live streams, to their website, you name it. So I'm very happy to have both Chris and Jason with us. Jason helps Chris lead up the various content across all live platforms for PGA Tour. So hi, guys.
How you guys doing? Hey, hello. Nice to be a part of this.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us. I know this is your first Tagboard webinar, so we're really excited to have you and to kind of share some things that are a little bit off the court. You know, we talk a lot with teams that are, in arenas and in stadiums, and not necessarily teams that do not have a very traditional stadium, if you will. You guys change courses every week, and you guys are at a different course, and you guys are bringing in televisions and productions to put up on big grassy knolls, whereas in stadiums you walk in and there's built-in platforms for live video and Tagboard and you name it. So I'm really excited to kind of hear a little bit more about what you guys are doing in the golf space, and excited to chat with you guys today.
Yeah, sounds good. You say it's the grassy knoll, which is great. I hope there's no assassins there. But what I will say is that we call it a traveling circus all the time. So your point is a good one about the fact that arenas, stadiums, and that kind of stuff, they've already got everything right there for you. So it is a challenge for Jason. Jason works with a lot of people out in the field in that respect. Producers working for the digital side, and then I'm more on the PGA Tour live side of things, more in the studio. So we have a little bit easier than Jason does. So.
Well, that's good. So I'm glad to have you both here. First question I have for you guys. What are some of the biggest benefits you both see from live streaming PGA Tour events?
Well, I work with PGA Tour Live, which for those who are not familiar with it, is an app-based program. Every Thursday and Friday, all morning long, all the golf that was never seen before until the TV window started. That is now broadcast by us. We take the two big groups in the day and show every shot. So we can stay with two, groups of three usually. So you can see 6 superstars on the PGA Tour. Very limited commercial interruption. So we live stream that golf through our app, and it provides an ability for people to see, a lot of golf that's, it's the same stars that are going to be playing in the afternoon. They just, they basically on Thursday in the morning. Then you play in the afternoon on Friday, and then it reverses. So on Thursday morning and then Friday morning, you're going to see basically the 12 best golfers in the field every week. Having that live stream of those broadcasts allows us to bring a lot of golf that was never seen before. A lot of times you tune in at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, go on Golf Channel, and you say, okay, who's leading the golf? And that's the only golf you'd see all day is 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. But a guy may have shot 59 and nobody saw it. Now you can see all that stuff. Now you can see how it happened, highlights of everything. We archive everything we do. So it's been a valuable asset because there's a lot of golf now that's been recorded that we never had access to, and our fans never had access. So now that we do have that, it's been a tremendous asset. Great for our fans as they're able to see things they've never seen before. It's been great. On Jason's side, Jason talk more on the on-site interactive stuff too.
Yeah, I can answer your question broadly what applies to how we use live streaming on all the digital platforms that we have access to. So Facebook Live, Periscope. We did some experimenting with YouTube Live. And some of the use cases for that have been taking our fans inside the ropes, particularly Tuesday and Wednesday. Players have their practice rounds or a pro-am on Wednesday typically, and a lot of them have been gracious with their time and let us tag along, walk a hole from tee box to green. They still get their practice in, but we get, access to them so we can fire off questions at them. But really with live streaming on those platforms, a huge upside is being able to bring our fans inside the ropes. And so we see good questions from Farron at Tagboard, and we'll say, hey, she has a question about this. So, if you're a fan, you could hear your question asked and answered. And even there are times where our video production arm at the PGA Tour Entertainment might be at a player's house doing a shoot for an upcoming TV show, and they'll fire up and go live. So now you're somewhere. We had someone do that with one of our players who was fishing in December. So, boom, you're with our players at home, and I think that's a huge upside that we weren't doing before.
Speaking of fans, how have you seen an increase in engagement since you started broadcasting, like specifically on Twitter or throughout any of your platforms? Like, what's engagement look like as far as fan engagement to your guys' platforms?
Yeah, so engagement on those hard to say what the overall effect is, but certainly on the lives, it's good, and it's better, I think, when we do multiple ways of calls to action to get that engagement too, which I think is important. So our post copy, you'll see ask questions to Adam Scott as we walk the par 4 10th hole at PGA National. Then you do verbal call outs. So if somebody's walking with Adam Scott, she says, "Hey guy, it's Taryn Shavers, one of our hosts, for a lot of her video. She does a verbal call out. Hey guys, make sure your questions at us." And we've also been working with the Telescope Live Studio to if we have a show from the office, which we've also done. I talked a lot about doing stuff inside the ropes, and doing live streaming from the offices. And so with that technology, you can put a question out there to the fans, and they can vote with a hashtag, or they can comment, surface comments on, and so certainly Tagboard is something that we are experimenting with as well, and we really like Tagboard for how it's displayed. So either way, if fans are seeing their comments, I think it helps drive engagement.
Right. What are some things looking forward that you guys are going to be doing to be innovative and to set yourselves apart, whether it's setting yourselves apart in just the golf space or the non-traditional stadium space, or throughout sports as a whole?
Well, I would say what we're doing right now is pretty out there, in that we're providing, thinking last week when we were doing PGA Tour Live from site, which is actual golf action competition taking place, we were broadcasting 10 hours a day straight of competition, and you just don't see that in other sports. Most basketball games 2.5 hours, most football games 3 hours. We're on for 10 hours, and we've got everything you could possibly want to see from a golf standpoint. As for innovation, I would say that this year what we've done is we're on Twitter live on PGA Tour Live for the first hour that we're on the air, at least 60 to 90 minutes, just to give people an idea of what it is that we're doing, and that has helped greatly. I think helped drive subscription rates because once people get a free taste of what we're providing, especially if you're a fan, I mean, there's just no reason not to be a part of it. And I think that's helped in turn the amount of interaction with our Twitter account. That's gone way up since we've been doing those live Twitter windows in the mornings. It's great. But also the interaction from a social media standpoint, I want to be clear on that, because, Farron and Daniel Braun know very well how much this has changed our lives, because we were literally taking tweets, finding them, and then having to go to a whole other control room, have them create a graphic look. Once that was sent over to our graphics. There's no way you can be interactive, fast, and be current with that kind of a workflow. And then when we found out about Tagboard, it was almost like a slap in the face. For us, it was like, wait a minute, it's been here the whole time. We can use this. This is great, and it was exactly what we needed. What it allowed us to do is have multiple producers in the building really work on the same tag board and work together to make sure that everything would be in one location, so that we went to air with it. Terrence Schaefer will bring it on air live, and we'll put it in our massive media wall on our show. But on our show, we're able to add tweets as we go. Like as a person who say we're in the middle of production, 10-hour production. If you're doing a live production. If you're in the middle of the production, the graphics team's already busy. They barely have time to get the stats in that we're dealing with, especially with the graphic interface that we have. There's just no way to Tiger react like Tiger Woods is just announced he's going to play next week. That would take 30 minutes to make it happen. With Tagboard, what we've been able to do is there's hit the little thing up in the upper right corner, click it, bam, it's on the Tagboard we need it to have, and then, all right, can I put it on? Okay, good. Within a minute, I can have a tweet right up. There's been times where we'll be in the middle of a show and I'll be producing the show, and one of the talent on the studio set, he's got Twitter going on the side, and he'll pull it up. He'll be like, hey, tweet by Rory, and I'll be like, no, what are you talking about? Trying to do a show, and he'll say that it's a really good tweet by Rory. I'll forward it to you. He'll just send me an email. I can literally go click it, put it up, bam, it's in the show. Hey, ready? We're gonna come back with it. Boom, we've got it right there. So the ability to be current, the easiness, the ease of use with the user interface, be able to get that on the air has changed the way we use social media in that show dramatically, and we've been really impressed with it. And in fact, I will say that, and I'm sure you guys know this already, but we've noticed that NBC has started using it quite a bit. And I know they always used it on Golf Channel for a morning drive, but I think that they've seen how easy to use as well. Maybe we were a small part of that, I don't know. But I think that they've seen how easy it is to use, and how, so now you're getting it on NBC too, and that's just a massive reach when it comes to the golf audience. So it's a testament to your product.
Oh, thank you guys. That's amazing to hear, and that's exactly, you've told me that all the goals that we set forth starting to work with you guys are kind of coming to fruition. So nothing can make me happier than knowing that Tagboard's kind of been that product for you guys to be able to make things so much easier on your end. You guys, just like all of our other sports clients, have 1,000 things going on. Your guys' events are almost double and triple the time that a normal NFL or NBA game are. So, being able to be on call for that long and to kind of be able to switch things on and switch things off at a moment's notice is definitely something that we can, see by watching your guys' events, and happy to be a part of it. Last question that I have for you guys: where do you see the future of live streaming video going? And do you have any unique activations, whether it's on the Snapchat or Facebook side, coming up at any of your guys' events?
I'll let Jason go first on that, and I've got some very strong opinions, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's always a tough question to answer. I feel like since I saw that question come in, I came up with something good and forgot what my answer was. But I'd say certainly like one of the challenges right now is for live streaming is, having a good connection if you're doing it remotely. Chris and I obviously work in completely different spaces in a sense. So as far as, being inside the ropes or inside on the court or inside the field or within the stadium or the arena, that's a challenge. As just the simple thing of as cell phone connection gets stronger and better, and certainly there's products out there to solve those problems. But as it becomes easier for the boots on the ground to stream live, you'll be able to go to more places. I think streaming underwater. I don't know what's all being done right now, but streaming underwater and whatever closed off spaces, hard to access is certainly something. But so is live streaming virtual reality VR. So it's something that the PGA Tour is interested in. Testing, would love to do it at some point. So I think that is certainly an opportunity for all publishers.
Well, I would say on the sports live streaming, where I see it going, I just see it build. I think it's future. I made a personal commitment to live streaming in my own life. I cut off DirecTV in January, so sorry guys, but it's basically as long as the internet is strong enough and there's all these products out there. It's funny because being a sports guy, that was always one last thing. Like, well, we got to keep satellites. We got to have all the live sports events. We got to have all the live sports events. Well, we get to about December, and kind of evangelist about it, building. I got all kinds of people do the same thing. But there's so many other companies out there, like Sling, PlayStation View, DirecTV Now has their own product as well, where you can authenticate on all the different platforms. You got NBC Sports, CBS Sports, you got Watch ESPN. I went 2 weeks without firing up a satellite during the heart of bowl season, and the NFL playoffs. I didn't miss a single game. And because of all these different ways to access live streaming, I felt like, well, what's the point? Why am I paying all this money for a dish? I can do it with my internet signal. I already have an internet signal because I have 3 kids with tablets, so it's like you got to have enough bandwidth to put up a small town, But what I would say to that is, if you have the bandwidth, that's really the only limit. And we're seeing it now. I mean, look, I just read 2 days ago about the NFL, and they did the thing with Twitter last year, and now it's back up for rebid, and they're expecting $10 million to be the going rate to get between Amazon and you got Twitter and you've got all these different Facebook and all these different companies who are offering live streaming video now, that the competition is making it so that it becomes a demand, and because so many people are cutting the cord. This is where they're getting their information. You have to really make you, if you're an ESPN or stuff like that, it definitely makes you run for the exit a little bit, because it could be a problem in a couple of years, especially with ESPN's model being so subscription-based with cable and all that. They've been seeing all the cuts that they've made in the last couple of years. But I just see it growing, and the more that the internet live streaming takes place, I feel like it's really the consumers are in that possible situation right now. It's definitely a buyer's market at this point because with all that competition out there. I mean, it's a great time to be a consumer.
I couldn't agree with you more. I want to thank both of you for your insights, and thank you so much for sharing everything you guys are doing with us here on our webinar. We are super excited that all of you tuned in to join us. Brianna, what a great webinar this has been. Brianna, I know you work with the Golf Channel, and like Chris and Jason both said, they're doing very similar things. Bringing content to air and live streaming and such from the course. So I'm very excited to kind of watch both Chris and Jason continue to push the needle when it comes to PGA. Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Farron, and thanks, Chris and Jason. Yeah, you're exactly right. Watching what PGA Tour is doing and then watching what the Golf Channel is doing, it's just so amazing to see both those worlds come together. A few things that stood out to me during this past interview was, you guys are going live. Your engagement is increasing so much with your, asking questions and doing little verbal shout-outs on air. That has really helped you. Other little things that really stood out to me was going live underwater. Gosh, that's so cool, and I love thinking about it and dreaming big and seeing where this industry is going to go.
And then my thoughts were, since our next guest is kind of coming up from Snapchat, my thoughts were, what if we were to put a Snapchat spectacle lens on a golf ball, and then, if it goes into the water when, someone hits it not directly straight, that could be underwater live streaming too.
Oh my goodness, that would be amazing, Farron. Let's see it happen. Let's go ahead and actually hear a little bit from Ty. He's been listening in. Thanks so much, Ty, for listening in. We're excited to hear a little bit on anything else you want to share on this.
Of course. Thank you guys so much for having me. Appreciate everyone taking the time this morning. And the webinar has been great thus far. Really appreciate all the insight that everyone's been able to give on a number of various fronts. Just real quick, want to chime in and say it's been an absolute pleasure working with you guys up until this front. And really excited for what the future holds across multiple platforms and multiple verticals, I should say. I think we've had the benefit of working with you guys in a number of different verticals, whether it be entertainment or sports, and then diving into each vertical. I think in terms of sports, Farron's been absolutely wonderful to work with, and we've done a ton of innovative work in a number of different sports, from NFL to the PGA to the NBA and so on and so forth. And I know we'll continue to grow that relationship in each individual vertical along with others as we move forward here. So really excited for what the future holds. I will say that you guys have been the most innovative thinkers in this particular space that I've had the pleasure of working with to date. And again, just really excited for what the future holds as we continue to innovate on the products that we've already made happen thus far.
Wow, that is amazing, Ty. Thank you so much. And right back with you. You're an amazing partner to work with. We love innovating with you day in and day out. And we just thank you for being on this journey with us.
Of course. Like I said, really looking forward to what the future holds for both of us.
Absolutely. Well, if you have more questions for Ty, head over to social and ask him utilizing hashtag Tagboard webinar. And we'll continue to keep those questions coming in and try and answer all of them. Farron, gosh, that's been such a wonderful webinar today.
Yes, it has. I cannot thank all of our guests, Doug, Chris, and Jason, for joining us today and sharing your guys' insights. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We are sorry once again for the little delay at the beginning, but thank you for sticking it out with us to the very end. I want to thank everybody, and I'm very excited to kind of continue going on these webinars and hosting more of these to kind of help you guys innovate and bring new and exciting ideas back to your guys' teams and leagues.
Yes, thank you so much, and continue to utilize that hashtag Tagboard webinar, and we will be in touch. Bye, everyone.